love it. All sports, double coverage.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Double Coverage. We hope you're still living, loving, and breathing sport. I am Dom with the great man Sauce, EP 75. Here we go. What is happening, Saucy?
How are we, Dom? We are back again with another episode. Good to be back for another week. Big week in sport. Or as usual, we've got honourable mention. The Aussies in the cricket today just absolutely demolished the Poms. So I'm just going to give that at the top of the show. Just bowled them out for a lazy 112 runs or something. Just loved every second of it, let me tell you. But other than that, plenty flowing through in the world of sport. I've got the hoodie on, but I'm already getting a bit hot, I reckon. So
he's gone the hoodie mellow over here.
Hoodie mellow, that's
Saucy.
it, mate. That's it, mate. I'm high, especially after the Lakers win today, and some of the defense.
You guys are shit.
Some of the defense that I've seen. This is the Lakers that I know, the championship Lakers that Doma, if they play that defense, they're always within a chance, mate.
They are.
Within a chance.
We will talk about them when we get to them at the top of the show here. But first, James is in. How you going, James? Adam's in. Whoever else is in watching, welcome. Let's go. NBA, Eastern Conference. Brooklyn on top. Chicago equal with them, 17 wins. 4-game win streak for the Bulls. Bucks on a 2-game win streak in third. The Heat lost 2 straight. And I'm concerned. This is where we're going to stop first, Sauce. I'm very concerned. Jimmy Bucket's hurt. Bam Adebayo's out for 4 to 6 weeks. Not great for Heat fans out there, including myself. Matty, what's happening? Big grunt dad from South Korea. Love it, mate.
Good to have you on board, mate.
I love it. You know what I expect? Like I just picture our faces up on the big screens in South Korea in the city center, Sauce. And all of them are looking at us like, who the hell are these two idiots? They're loving it. But we're in a bit of strife, the Heat, Sauce.
Speak to me, Doma. Speak to me. Injuries obviously hitting. Tyler Hero's still performing. I seen him the other day. He's still with 24 points off the bench as well in the previous game. But yeah, look, it's going to be a bit of a tough patch. You just got to stick roundabouts, get these guys back and make a push for it. I don't think it's all so bad because you have had a pretty good start to the season. Which is one positive.
It definitely is. I just want to get those guys back clearly. Our stars. Tyler Hero's is balling. Absolutely balling. Still putting up good numbers. So it's good signs, even when he's moving into the starting rotation. So we'll see how that goes there. Sauce, Washington is up next in 5th. They've lost 3 straight. Philly in 6th on a 2-game win streak. Embiid has just been absolutely dominating.
He put up like 43 the other day. Yeah, we know that's what he can do. And I mean, this Philly side, I think even without Ben Simmons out there, they're probably, top 4 contenders in the East there. Albeit Embiid, stays fit. They did struggle a little bit without him. But yeah.
When he's on there, Sauce, as a big fella, Embiid, how good is he?
Yeah, he's the best. I mean, he's the best big guy since Shaq. Let's be honest. But I get frustrated with him because he's got much better touch and obviously jump shot, and you need to have that in today's game. Let's not be beat around the bush. Sorry, but I get frustrated with him because sometimes he doesn't throw his weight around. But when he's playing the way he was the other day, and getting to the line as easily as he was, he's just unstoppable. He's literally unstoppable. But in saying that, they're sitting in 6th. I really don't see them doing much this season. I mean, they're going to make a playoff run, but could I confidently say that they're going to win the East? No. Are they there with a handful of teams? Yeah, probably. Brooklyn is proving to be leaps and bounds better than anyone in that East. I mean, Bulls are sticking with them at the moment, but we'll see. We'll see how that pans out over the next 20 games.
Oh no! Look what James has just sent through. Oh no!
Oh, here we go.
We're not, James.
We have seen James. We have seen the
We're
account on
not.
Instagram.
We're not
seen the
talking about.
account,
We're not
and
talking about.
it's pretty funny. I laugh. Look, anyone who's listened to this show for a long time, and I've even said it on this show once before, I used to watch his content. I'm not going to lie. I used to watch his content when I got into the hobby. He was one of the main people around. I think at the time, didn't have the following that he has now, but he was saying to invest in Lonzo Ball, and as soon as he said that, man, I just stopped watching. So, like at the end of the day, you got to do what you want to do. To the people that followed him religiously, I mean, it's your own
Hopefully,
fault.
That's He is a We did speak about this with someone recently. Actually, we spoke about Jeff. Just that, like, his content creation is just unbelievable, but
Yeah, it is good.
It's
Very
phenomenal. On the production that behind it all is just it is actually unreal.
Yeah, he owns 532, I think it's called 532 or something.
I think so.
Media company, something along those lines. So he's from that space.
I know, but it's the way that
like
builds that content too. Yeah, like you
yeah.
got to have the way that you build it and you sell it as well. It's pretty good. Anyway, enough on that bloke, because we're here for double coverage, not for a big hello. We're here for a big Le Mans. That's how we do it here on this show. Next up in 7th, we got Charlotte. In 8th, we got the Cleveland Cavaliers. And in all honesty, guess who's been balling out, Sauce? Mobley's been okay since coming back from injury, but Darius Garland is putting on a clinic. Yeah. His cards went to the shitter. It literally went to the shitter, Sauce, and could have bought him real cheap, like $4.50 cheap. I think some people were picking up his PSA 9s at one stage for like $12.
Yeah.
PSA 10s for like $30, $25. Now he's just balling out. I reckon he's a good player. You got to remember, he was a fourth pick. Is he fourth pick in the NBA draft? So number 4 pick?
No, I don't think so, Dom. I think you're well misinformed there. I'll look it up. Keep going through.
We'll see. No, I'm Darius Garland.
Okay.
He's pick 5. Fuck. Oh, I was close enough, mate. I'm not fucking misinformed over here. I'm misinformed by one spot. Don't worry about me, mate. I was watching that draft.
There we go. To be honest, I thought it was a second rounder, so I was way off the mark. But hey, at the end of the day, I'm still correct, because I did say you're misinformed. You were off by one spot.
So. Grunt Dad Sportscard says 76ers have a World Cup up their sleeve, which Ben Simmons potentially trading him for a piece that puts them above the Nets. No one's taking him. So unfortunately,
no one's taking that contract.
No one's taking it. The contract is horrendous. James said with Sexton now, he's taking the opportunity fully. He definitely is. Next up, we got Atlanta in 9th, Boston in 10th. The Knicks, what a fall from grace. 500 Source. They're a 500 team, 12-12. They started off like a house on fire. Everything's just been happening over in New York City. Kemba Walker's been moved to the bench. Now he can't get a spot in the rotation. He's the big signing over the break. It's all just gone to absolute shittery over in New York. Joel, what's happening, bro? It's just gone downhill for Kemba. And funnily enough, I'm not saying that you and I... Oh, you lemon. Get rid of that.
Big Kemp.
At least you had toilet paper when there was a shortage during lockdown.
Big Kemba.
Jesus.
No, mate. Didn't even buy this card. No. I didn't even buy this card. All right. So just for the record.
Yeah, but that's okay. Listen to me. Yeah. Because
it's a coaster now.
Yeah. At least it's a protected coaster. It'd be nice. I've got some coasters here too, Ben.
I'll tell you what, that's gonna be my plan. That's gonna be a plan when I get my own humble abode, I'm just gonna get a whole bunch of PSA slabs and just use them as coasters because there'll be that many around.
Oh,
They'll
100%.
literally be worth
It's not.
peanuts.
We're not trying to say PSA is crap. We're just trying to
We're
say.
not. We're not.
No,
I'm
we're just saying they're so cheap.
legitimately.
You can go buy like Le Mans and just put them as coasters on in and around your house. But the Knicks have lost it, and funnily enough, Sauce with Kemper Walker. Oh, it's funny. It's funny. I don't know. We're the type of guys. Yeah, we're not going to go back and clip old clips and say this was the timestamp and. We said this 12 months ago. We said this, 8 months ago.
I mean,
it's like,
I feel like we should do that sometimes because
we probably should.
Do say stuff. We do say stuff pretty early. And,
the only time,
down the track.
Let's be honest. The only time I'm doing that is when I'm cutting all the times you try to pronounce UFC names and turning it into one video.
we should do a supercut. I'll tell you what.
It'd be so funny.
We should do
It'd
a
be so funny.
That'd
but
be
yeah, a supercut of that, and every time you said Le Mans, just have it just recurring. Le Mans, just you going crazy.
All the different variations.
Joel,
I started to hit higher pitches now these days.
Yeah,
I've been practicing.
Yeah. James says Kemper is a full-time all-star. Joel says doesn't matter who they sign. Knicks are going to Nick. Yeah, James. No, I agree. What you're saying with is a full-time all-star. But Sauce and I came on this show when he was hurt again, just before he got hurt with Boston, and we said he's got bad knees. He gets injured again with his knee. He's finished. Yeah, he got injured with his knee. He came back. We literally watched 3 games. We watched him play 3 games, and we just said to each other, yeah, he's done. He actually is finished. And I said, whoever takes on this contract or if Boston keeps him, I think it would be a mistake. He's not what he was prior to the knee injuries. And he's not. He's not. And he's undersized too, Sauce.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I agree.
I respect him because, honestly, I respect him, because he's been so driven to get back out on the court because of injury. He's driven because he's an undersized guard. He's a small player. He's not massive. He'd probably be a little bit taller than Chris Paul. You know what I mean? So I respect those players that go out there and they ball out and they dominate against big guys. But he's just with the injuries. The injuries have hurt him. Really, really hurt him. And it's a shame because he had all the potential in the world and he had some big games. He went through patches in his career where offensively he was just so dominant, and then his body's just failed him. And James, that 4-time All-Star appearance for him is off the back of that great potential, but he's just he's struggling so much. Yeah, he's absolutely struggling. It is sad to see. Next up, we've got Toronto in 12th, Indiana in 13th. Funnily enough, Indiana, Sauce, they want to blow up the team now. They want to get rid of Turner. They want to get rid of Karis LeVert. Mate, they had the opportunity to send Turner to Boston for picks and stuff. They didn't want to do it. And now they want to get rid of him. And I don't know what's going over there in Indiana. Orlando in 14th and 15th is Detroit. Over to the West, Golden State and Phoenix, both 20-4, just dominating, absolutely dominating. Phoenix ended up having 18 wins in a row, Sauce, and then Golden State was the team, rightfully so, that broke that streak after Phoenix beat them a couple games beforehand. Just your thoughts on these two teams again, just touch on them quickly.
Leaps and bounds above the rest of the teams in the West. Well, I mean, at this point, let's be honest. Golden State, the way they're playing is just the Golden State of old. The way they're moving the ball, a lot of off the ball motion. Passes flying around. It's very, very entertaining to watch. So, if you haven't caught any games this season, definitely catch a few. And I mean, you always want to watch the chef because at any moment he could just start, cooking up a storm. So it's both those teams, as I've mentioned last week, I think both those teams will be there right at the end of the season. It'll be interesting to see when Clay comes back, when Wiseman comes back, whether they start using Wiseman in the rotation, or Obviously, Clay will get in there, but just, how he's incorporated back into the team and what they do with minutes to the other guys, because, other guys there have been stepping up. Obviously, Jordan Poole, Toscano as well, Gary Payton Jr.
This guy here, 8 threes, Wiggins. Oh, Matty, I was surprised, but Saucy put the belief in him when he went there. He went and bought a whole bunch of his rookie
I should
cards.
go. I've got a whole stack of Wiggins cards. So you're telling me, Matty, I should get my Wiggins cards and list that shit up on eBay? Because I've probably got I think I've got about 12 prisms sitting around somewhere, base prisms of Andrew Wiggins. So I might have to get them out there. That was a play one day.
That was a saucy smoky.
It was a saucy smoky. I still reckon it's a good play, and I've still held my Wiggins cards, and I sold one graded at BGS 9.5. I didn't take an L. I actually made profit on that card from when I gave the smoky, and I still have about 10 base prisms, 10, 12 base prisms, and I'm in those at about $20 each. So I don't know if they're probably going to be worth that much now, but if they do make a run, maybe at the start of the playoffs, I might be able to make my money back. But yeah, I did buy those probably not at the best time of the market, so I'm not going to lie. That's why I got out of the BGS 9.5, so I could recoup some of the funds.
James says the hobby doesn't like Wiggins. It's true. It's probably because he's Canadian. Grunt Dad says he has. I have a trio of nice Wiggins RCs, also all BGS 9.5s. Very, very nice. Next up, we go Utah. Then we got Saucy's second favorite team, the Memphis Grizzlies, on a 5-game win streak. No jar, no worries. They're playing well. They're balling out.
They're playing well. Desmond Bain stepping up. Jaren Jackson stepped up and played much better. Hasn't dominated and gone 25 points a game, but they've shared the load around. I mean, it's good. It's good showing more maturity, because not for anything, when they Ja Morant was out last season when he got injured, they struggled. So to be able to put the wins together, hold the fort down till Ja Morant comes back, and then get him back on board. But I mean, there's still a lot to play out, and they are still only 3 games clear of slipping out. So plenty more to go, but hopefully the Grizzlies can stick in there.
100%. And yeah, they gave a beat down to Oklahoma. Grunt there, they smashed the crap out of him.
Yeah, that was ugly. That was ugly.
Clippers we'll end on your mob source. All right. They're in 6th. Dallas is 7th, Denver 8th, Minnesota 9th, Portland 10th. How's Dame Dollar won a $113 million contract over 2 years? It would have made him in 2027 source. He would have been getting paid $57 million for a season. And he would have been 36. He's lost the plot. He's genuinely lost it. Sacramento in 11th, San Antonio in 12th. Houston is on a 6-game win streak. They're in 13th now, Oklahoma 14th, and New Orleans in 15th. Brandon Ingram played pretty well the other day. Zion, some soreness in that repaired foot, and he looks like he's been sidelined again. Unconfirmed return date for Big Z. So we don't really need to go.
Yeah. Just I know. Well, unfortunate about Zion. Unfortunate about Zion.
It's good. Just keep buying him then.
Yeah, I mean, I did see a post out today. One bloke looking for Zion cards, so I'm not too worried. He will come back. There was a funny image of him in a red tracksuit that popped out.
I saw that.
Look, I'm not gonna lie, it didn't look too good. He does look like he doesn't look any slimmer. That's the
couple COVID kgs. That's all right. We all put it on during that time.
A couple of extra Mountain Dew. Doma, mate, I would be absolutely appalled if Portland gave him that contract, because I mean, if you have a look at his stats from this season, he's actually averaging 21.5 points a game, which is his lowest since 2014. And then he's also shooting 30% from 3, which is his lowest ever percentage in his whole career.
And he's starting to get injured. James, the funny thing is, that's what Dame requested. Portland didn't offer that. He actually wants that. That's the difference. Portland's not signing that. They would sooner trade him than give him that deal. A lot of stuff happening over there. Pretty disgruntled by the looks of things at that franchise. They've just regressed completely. They've just been horrendous. Let's finish up on your mob source, the Lakers. Give us a rundown. You got Mr. false positive James back in the team after his COVID layaway.
Yeah.
You happy?
Better signs. Better signs
Yeah.
I'm seeing in the last few games. Albeit, we've won 3 out of our last 4. 3 out of our last 4, albeit 2 against the Pistons and the Kings, who they're still shit. Let's be honest. They were doing all right earlier in the season, but let's be honest, guys. They're not going to do anything this season. Again, another Sacramento wasted season. But we kept them to 92 points. We get the Pistons to 106 points. We kept the Celtics today to 102 points, which was a very good defensive performance. The Clippers did beat us over the weekend, but we played pretty well in that game. No LeBron. So that's always a struggle. Westbrook has been stepping up, and not for anything. I'm just going to put this out there. We would probably be struggling if we didn't have Westbrook, and we're relying on AD to carry the team this season.
Very interesting.
I mean, with LeBron being out and injured, and we had to rely on AD, I'm not going to lie, we would probably have a worse record. Not probably, we would.
Disney.
Oh man, he's been pretty average. He doesn't want to shoot threes because he's shooting it at something ridiculous like 16%. It's horrendous.
I just love it. Maddie's right. Kareem not happy with LBJ. Goats don't dance. I
love the Sam Cassell dance. It's the best.
I love this shit. Kareem's just not happy because LeBron's going to pass him in points, and no one's going to look at Kareem as anything but the second greatest scorer in the history of the sport. That's pretty much what's going to happen. Let's be honest. It's going to get to a point. It's going to get, huh?
He came out today and put up 30. So
don't worry about LeBron. Who cares? The Lakers can be shit for all I care. I'm not bothered. They'll just waltz their ass into the Western Conference Finals, mate. I know, even that we said this last year, and then they got bounced in the first round by Phoenix.
No, we got to improve. We got to improve, but it starts on defense, and we've done that in the last few games. We got to keep it going. And as much as AD's been struggling, there are things that he can do on the court, like stepping in and taking charges, blocks, and be more of a beast on the offensive boards and just hustle plays. I mean, your shot's not falling from outside, so you got to get in there and just bang it around a bit, mate.
You just blow on Anthony Davis, mate, and he gets injured. You can't tell him to take a charge.
He did today.
You snap in half. You'll be out for a week. You'll miss like 5 games if he starts taking charges.
Well, he's got to do something, mate, because his shots aren't falling.
Lakers will be fine. I just love bagging sores and saying they're shit, but they'll be perfectly fine. If you got a top 5 player in the league on your team, and arguably probably the greatest player to ever play the sport on your team, you're never out. Don't ever rule that team out of anything. That's all I'm saying. So AD is pretty good at Grand Theft Auto, says James. Yeah, he's good. Anything that's got not anything that's non-contact is a gun at. So playing games, not sport. So anyway, let's go to the season leaders. Durant 28.4 points per game, Curry 27.7, Giannis 27.6, DeMar DeRozan, who's in COVID protocol, 26.4, Trae Young 26.3. On to the rebounds, Rudy Gobert 14.7, Jokic 13.5, Clint Capella 12.7, Sabonis and Valanciunas both on 12. And on the assists, Chris Paul 10.1, Harden 9.6, Trae Young 9.4, Westbrook 8.7, and Luka the Don 8.5. All right, Sauce. That's it for the basketball. onto some football of the round ball style. We should probably give a bit of an update on that. Source and I are going to be pretty much appearing on Soccer Card Collective for the next few weeks. We're just going to be filling in for Dan, for Azuro at this point in time. So we're just going to be floating in and out. And we're going to be giving a lot of our soccer takes on there. So we may hold off on a bit of soccer on this podcast unless old Ralphie Ragnick does something Lamonish, or if Fred kicks some wonder goal, Source, then we could talk about Alfredo. He's the heart and soul of the club now. I love him.
He's your best player.
Stop it. Just stop it. Anyway, Saturday we have West Ham defeating Chelsea 3-2, Watford losing to City 3-1, Liverpool defeating Wolves 1-0, 1-1 draw with Southampton and Brighton, 1-0 win for Newcastle over Burnley. We had Villa defeating Leicester 2-1, Spurs over Norwich 3-0, Alfredo 1, Crystal Palace 0, 2-2 Leeds, Brentford, and Everton defeated Arsenal 2-1. Can you please give a reaction to this? Because it looked like, you're in a good spot, and then Richarlison scores, and then Damari Gray with the screamer. And it was, see you later. Good night, Irene, as they say.
Don't know. Forgot the game was on. Woke up, seen the score. 2-1 was like typical Arsenal. Everton struggling. Haven't won in 8, but yeah, that's all right. Come up against Arsenal, 2-1. So, yeah, that's where we're at. That's where we're at as a club, mate. That's where we're at. Up and brilliant for 5 weeks, and just the average for a week, 2 games. And, we'll probably come out and put in a good performance in the next game. But, yeah, what are we going to do this season? If you ain't winning the title, what are you doing, right? So, I don't get excited.
You got to still try and make Champions League.
Yeah, we've got to try and make Champions League. Yes, I know that.
You're not going to get there now because United's got a pretty decent run. I actually looked at the fixture Source, and I'm not being arrogant, yeah, because you know how we had that really hard stretch, and I said we wouldn't win anything. Like we'd be outside. Well, Arsenal will be on top of us. And I was right. But then I looked at the stretch now, and it is that easy. Out of the 11 games, 1 being Crystal Palace, which we have won that game now. So in the next 10 games, the hardest team we play is West Ham. We should literally have 30 points out of 10 games. I looked at it, and it's like Norwich and Watford and Wolves and Brighton and teams that you should just beat. You should just beat them any given day. Newcastle's in there as well. I think, again, we'll smack them. All right, on to Champions League. Paris Saint-Germain, 4-1 over Club Brugge. Good to see Messi got pissed off that Alfredo had more goals than him, so he decided to kick 2 this morning. Mbappe also on the score sheet there. Leipzig defeated Man City 2-1. Ajax 4-2 over Sporting. Borussia Dortmund knocked out Source. 5-0 win over Besiktas, but they needed to kick 7 goals in this game to come close to qualifying. They kicked 5. They got knocked out. Haaland kicked 2 in this game. Atletico 3-1 over Porto. Liverpool 2-1 over Milan. Real Madrid defeated Inter 2-0, and Shakhtar Donetsk and Sheriff 1-1. Tomorrow's games are Juventus, Malmo, St. Petersburg, Chelsea, Atalanta, Villarreal, Bayern Munich, Barca, Benfica, Dinamo Kiev, Manchester United, Young Boys, Salzburg, Sevilla, Wolfsburg, Lille, and I think there's one more. No, that's all the games. Bang, done. James, at one point, I thought Dortmund were going to do it. It's, I'll be honest.
That's why you got to have consistency throughout the group stages.
No. I'm actually going to be honest, and I'm going to come out and say this. On the record, if they had Haaland the whole time, they would have easily qualified.
Yeah, they probably would have.
It sounds ridiculous, yeah? Like, this is the guy we said, it doesn't all revolve around him. But since he's come back, it does. And he's actually that good. He's good. He's actually unreal. It's all well and true to just do what he did against against Bundesliga teams, but what he did against Bayern Munich when they played them during the week, like it just shows he's a gun. He's not playing against Spuds when he's playing against Bayern Munich. He's just dominant. He's very, very good. All right, that's it for the EPL and Champions League. Saucy, F1, last race of the season. I'm going to give this one to you because you were up and about while we watched this race on Monday morning. So give us a bit of a rundown.
Ladies and gents, we were up 4:30 in the morning. We had the stream going. We've got one stream. If you can tune in this week, it is the biggest race to decide a title from modern history. Let's be honest. It's equal points. It's equal points. You can't get any closer than this.
And a half.
This is the ultimate of the sport. This is what we wanted. I was screaming for it after the last two seasons where we just seen an absolute whitewash by Hamilton and the Mercedes team. And Red Bull and Verstappen has been, a valiant challenger, and well, he might win the title. So we'll have to see this weekend. But Doma, it was a huge race. There was some crazy stuff that went on. I was losing my shit at one point. But ultimately, a very, very good race, and a lot of tactics, played out. But the two at the top, let me just tell you, I'm getting some Schumacher-esque vibes about Verstappen. I was watching the way he was driving on the weekend, and the way he was just brazen and just didn't give a shit. It was all about winning. I was flashing back to the Netflix doco when they were showing him Schumacher against Raikkonen and just how brazen he was, and he just didn't give a shit. And I was getting that. I was getting that sense from Verstappen. I loved every second of it. But it was a good drive by Hamilton. Very good drive.
I did not expect you to actually compare him to Schumacher. I did not expect you to do that at all. It was against, I think you said Raikkonen, but I know what you meant. You meant Hakkinen. I know exactly what you meant, but right. Yeah, but 100%. He's got the most balls out there by a mile. As reckless as it is at times, which we saw during this race, where he pretty much gave Lewis Hamilton a brake test and made him crash into the back of him. He's a nutcase. The guy's he's actually crazy. And you know me, I love Dutch guys. When it comes to soccer, I love Dutch players. I don't know what it is. I got this fascination with Dutch people. Tiesto, he's Dutch. Bloody Frankie de Jong. Max Verstappen. I don't know what it is, bro. I don't know what it is, but I love him. He's just a nutcase. Everyone's like, oh, he's arrogant.
Mate, like they got the Disneyland for adults as well there, Amsterdam. So, mate, exactly. It's better all around.
Mate, Max Verstappen, he's just as crazy as they get. And when you put him in a car with four wheels, he gets even crazier. But I love it. He's so determined to win this title. If I'm giving a prediction, unfortunately, Hamilton's going to win it. And it is going to go down as probably his greatest championship ever. And I'm just telling you the events of what's going to happen. So he's going to win it. He'll win the title. He actually wins 8. He has the outright most world championships ever in Formula One. Because this will be the greatest known, like the greatest season source. Greatest championship he's ever won, and because so many more eyes are on this sport now than ever before because the documentary, and people only know Lewis Hamilton to be the GOAT, pretty much. They don't really factor in like Senna and Schumacher and guys like that. He'll win it. They will say he's the outright GOAT, and we're going to be playing LeBron James, Michael Jordan argument time for the rest of our lives. That's pretty much the way it's going to work with Schumacher and Hamilton. Because unfortunately, not a lot of people watch the sport. They don't understand where the cars came from with Schumacher. They don't understand the fact that they put George Russell into the same car as Hamilton. They put George Russell into Hamilton's car last season. and he was up by literally 35 seconds in that race. And the pit stop screwed him over. I know Saucy was not too happy about that. But the whole thing was like everyone kept saying, oh, he was only winning races by 35, 40 seconds because he's the best driver. No, they had the best car. And that was proven when George Russell came from the shittest team into the best team, and he almost won the Grand Prix. So, besides the point,
so
like
George Russell's the best driver.
Yeah, when he's in Hamilton's car. But in saying that, I gave Lewis credit last week or the week before, and I'm not saying by all means he's not a bad driver at all. Not a bad driver. He did what he had to do in the situation that he had to do it, and that happened to be Mercedes was the best car, and then that's it. So it is what it is. He's going to win his 8th World Championship, as that's my prediction, and the rest will be history. Every other person in the history of the sport will be an afterthought. He's a psychopath, Adam.
Tell me how Max gets a driver of the day. That bloke is liability on wheels. Honestly, is actually a bad driver. No, he's just brazen, and he doesn't give a rat's ass, and he wants to win. I think that's what I get. Win at all costs.
He's Cobra Kai.
You have to be a nutcase to jump in a moving vehicle that's going over 300 k's an hour. So, I mean, you're already a nutcase. Let's be honest. So he's got to take it that next level. Especially,
mate, he's the Johnny Lawrence of F1, mate. Sweep the leg on Daniel LaRusso, who's Lewis Hamilton, and he's just like, I'm going to break his kneecap. He goes, I don't give a shit. I'll brake. I'll let him smash into my car. I'll run him off the track. It's actually entertaining. You can't say it's not entertaining. And the fact that all of this, all 22 races, are going to be put into Drive to Survive Source. This season has been off its head. It has genuinely been off its head. And Netflix is just going around going, Dollar. That's literally they are loving it. They are absolutely loving it. The other thing is constructors. It's 587.5 to 559.5 Mercedes over Red Bull. So they're pretty much sorted if both Mercedes finish in the top 3. This week, not next week. This week is the final race of the season. It is in Abu Dhabi, midnight. So Monday morning, 12 a.m.
Good time.
We're on. Show. We expect to be just going off our head. We're going to try and get the crew back. I know that it's been very early. They've been back at work. So if we can get the crew back on for that one, try and get Lukey, Cristiano, try and get Azuda on there as well. And we'll just have a nice watch party to end the season for Formula One, which has been a very, very exciting 2021 season. Global, don't stress, mate. You're a legend. Never fear, you are here. That's all that matters. Adam, you couldn't script it better. Global says that race was absolutely insane, and we made it absolutely all time worth getting up at 3. Yes, 100%. Yeah, Global was there. We have got a few screws loose over here at Double Coverage. I can tell you that much. I literally roll into work source, and my boss goes, "Oh, you got off for the Grand Prix, didn't you?" And I said, "Yep, 100% I did." All right, next up, UFC source. Give us a rundown. What's happened?
How could you not, mate? It was an unbelievable race. It was well worth it. All right. Doma, UFC. It was UFC Fight Night. Font versus Aldo. Going to run through the main card. You had Alex Morono defeating Mickey Gall in the welterweight division. Then you had Brendan Allen with that defeated by Chris Curtis, KO in the second round. In the middleweight division, lightweight division, Clay Guida submission in the second round against Leandro Santos. Light heavyweight, watch this fight. Jamal Hill knocked Jimmy Crute to another dimension. He was not seeing much. It was a straight. It wasn't unlucky. Jimmy Crute. I watched the fight. It only went for 1 minute. So, that's why I say I watched it, because it went for a total of 1 minute. Less than that. Went for a total of 48 seconds. Let's get that bang on. But in the fight, Jimmy Crute, he got caught probably just before that with a similar punch. Wasn't quite as bad. Then he went back in and he was throwing a lot of kicks early. And then, the way he was just sort of throwing those kicks, I think Jamal Hill had caught the timing of it. And he slipped out as Jimmy Crute tried to go in and throw something and just caught him straight, right hook on the button. Good night, Jimmy Crute. So not good for the Aussie. He's still young. He'll be back. But Jamal Hill, that's a big win. And he called out some big names, Johnny Walker and Paulo Costa, who's supposed to be heading to the light heavyweight division. So, potential big fight for Jamal Hill coming up, which will be fun to watch. Lightweight division, you had Bran Riddell defeated by Raphael Viziev. And ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't seen this knockout, go find a clip on the realms of the internet and watch this one. It's an absolute ripper. It's a spinning back kick straight to the bonce, and it's good night. It was one of the most bizarre knockouts I've ever seen. It was a spinning kick, but when he hit him, he was right up against the fence. So he got knocked out, but he was leaning against the fence, and his eyes were you could just see he wasn't there. And he's trying to move, trying to do something, but he's just stuck leaning up the fence. He was pretty much knocked out standing up because he got stuck leaning against the fence. And as the guy came in to throw more punches, the ref just seeing he was just not there and just stepped in front. And perfect stoppage by the ref because if you landed,
could have gone pretty bad.
It could have got pretty bad. So, but it was a very good knockout. And then the main event, Jose Aldo defeated Rob Font, 5th round decision. Now, look, arguably a little bit tough done by Rob Font. I'll bring up the fight statistics here, official from the ESPN website. And, I mean, if you have a look, total strikes thrown, 172 to 350 for Rob Font. He landed 193 compared to Jose Aldo's 96. Significant strikes. He's landed more significant strikes, more hits to the body. He's even hit him with a takedown. I think it had more to do with that, he had more potential control in the fight. But, I mean, he could have potentially
dominated him everywhere.
Yeah, so it's just an interesting one. The judges viewed it in the decision of Jose Aldo. I'm not going to comment. I didn't actually catch that fight, so I can't actually say. But all I did was look at the stats and go, because I thought Font probably would win this fight. That was my pick before the fight. So when I was seeing the card, so I was interested to see that Jose Aldo had got the win. There's the whole card there, ladies and gents. But yeah, I'll have to maybe go back and review that one. But I always look at the stats and, if I see something that doesn't seem right, because you don't usually see that, especially when a guy's thrown nearly double the amount of significant strikes and landed double the amount. It's generally they come out on top unless it's, it's gone to the ground. It's gone to the ground in a 5-round fight, and he's maybe had two rounds of control that, he was able to top mount and get 2 rounds of control, and maybe that's what won him the fight. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, interesting one. But Doma, don't worry about that card.
Here we go.
Where the action really is this Sunday. Make sure you tune in. It's going to be an absolute pearler. UFC 269. If you don't mind, bantamweight Raul Paev against Sean Sugar O'Malley. He's back in action. Sugar O'Malley's back in action. If you've got Sean O'Malley cards, get them listed on eBay before this Sunday, because I tell you what, he'll knock this guy out.
He's going to be hitting the fadeaway against Source.
Yeah. Look, I'm confident in my boy Sean O'Malley. So I think he'll get the win. And then Kai Kara Francis against Cody Garbrandt in the flyweight. Kara Francis. I think that's the New Zealander. So hopefully he can get the chocolates. And then welterweight division, Jeff Neal against Santiago Ponzinibbio. That was pretty good. I'm happy with that. And then woman bantam. Well, you gave me stick before, so I was like, oh, this looks like one that's going to stump me, but I absolutely pulled it out. Women bantamweight, you got Amanda the Lioness Nunes against Juliana Pena. Juliana Pena, good night. You're going to get knocked the fuck out. And Charles Oliveira against Dustin Poirier in the lightweight division for the title. If you don't mind, for the lightweight title, Dustin Poirier, Charles Oliveira. This should be a cracking card. Absolutely, like there are some good fights, like that Sean O'Malley
great
fight.
Are you kidding me?
Should be a decent fight, although O'Malley has the ability to finish the fight early, but could go the distance. Kaya Francis fight should be good. The Jeff Neal against Santiago. All of these fights on the main card will be ripper. They're prelim. There's no prelim card here just yet, so I'm not sure if there is one. Usually there is, just maybe not announced yet. So this weekend, tune in Sunday, find out what time it is on your local guides, and it should be a ripper.
Bang. All right, so on to the NFL, and we had week 13. It started off Cowboys defeating the Saints. As you know, stop me anywhere, Sauce, if you want to chat about any of these. My mob, the Dolphins, 20-9 over the Giants. We moved to 6-7, Sauce. We're almost at 500, so we're looking all right. Tua's actually playing well. He's playing well. That's all I'm saying on that. He's playing all right. Your mob shut out the Texans 31-0. Jonathan Taylor just ran the ball, and that's pretty much
2 TDs,
the way.
143 yards.
That's the way it works. He just runs it, and you can't stop him. Vikings lost to the Lions. Lions get their first win. Start celebrating, Lions fans. Unfortunately, the Lions fans turned to Kirk Cousins.
You like that?
Bit of that, gave a bit of his own medicine. He got touched up there. Jets got beaten by the Eagles. The Jets stink. Cardinals defeated the Bears 33-22. Chargers defeated the Bengals 41-22. Do you want to have a chat about this one, Sauce? Because you watched this and you said it was just a game of errors, but
just a game of errors, yeah.
Being thrown and
it was a game of errors from both teams. I mean, Bengals made errors to give Chargers a handy lead at halftime, and then Chargers made mistakes to let the Bengals back into the game. And then the Chargers just ran away with it in the fourth quarter. But I expected a bit more from the Bengals at home against a Chargers team that hasn't been the best in the last few weeks. But ultimately they did enough. And giving up 41 points. You give up 40 points, you're always going to struggle to win a game.
Pretty much cooked.
Yeah.
That's happening. You cooked. Then we had the Bucks defeating the Falcons 30-17. Rams defeated Jags 37-7. Washington defeated the Raiders 17-15. The Steelers beat the Ravens 20-19. Saul said the Ravens were gonna smack the Steelers, and Big Ben's just ripped this out of his ass. 49ers lost to the Seahawks 30-23. Chiefs defense win the game against the Broncos 22-9. And then in a blizzard yesterday, the Patriots defeated the Bills 14-10. Literally a blizzard. Mac Jones threw the ball 4 times, I think, or 3 times. That was it. Just in the snow. All right, on to week 14. We got 5 weeks left.
He looks good, Mac Jones, mate. But
he actually does.
He looks good, but it's a hard one to say. It's a definitely don't buy his cards at this moment, ladies and gents. I'll tell you that. I can tell you that with 100% confidence. But yeah, Pats on top of the AFC, are they 9-4?
Yeah, probably. I think they are. Where are we? Scores, standings. Let's have a look. I'll open up this bad boy here, and I'll give you the rundown. Conference. Probably.
They are.
Yeah, they are 9-4. Indy is second. Oh no, sorry.
7-game
What
win
happened there?
streak.
Sorry.
Tennessee
Tennessee
second.
second.
Baltimore
Apologies.
Chiefs.
And then
So-
Arizona on top of the NFC. Maddie says, my boys were 1-7, now 6-7. Looking the goods. Don't need Russ next year. James says, Ravens were meant to win last minute like they usually do, but had a fumble for the 2-pointer. Maddie said, I reckon the no-namers around him are playing better. Fair call. On to week 14 source. Steelers at Vikings, Cowboys at Washington, Jags at Titans, Seahawks at Texans, Raiders at Chiefs, Saints at Jets, Falcons at Panthers, Ravens at Browns, Giants at Chargers, Lions at Broncos, 49ers at Bengals, Bills at Bucks, Bears at Packers, and LA at Cardinals. Teams on a bye, your mob, my mob, the Patriots, and the Eagles. So bit of rest for Jonathan Taylor so he can come back after the bye and just rush for 200 yards and dominate because he's a machine. All right, Sauce.
And that wraps up NFL for another week. It's panning out to be a close competition. There's a few divisions, that are still definitely up for grabs, and it's going to be big last. What is there? 5 games left? 4 games left? I believe.
Five.
So should be interesting.
5 games left. All right, Sauce. On to Hobby Talk. There is no Lamont of the week this week. Tops had to cop it last week, and they did. Maddie says, watch my Seattle sneak into a wild card. 2 wins behind the wild card. Wouldn't surprise me. They always find a way. All right, Sauce Hobby Talk brought to you by the newly acquired Cardladder.
Imagine everything you love about the hobby in the palm of your hand. An entire store at your fingertips. Everything you need to know about cards is within your grasp. Unlock the secrets of the hobby. Plus, so much more. You don't have to imagine anymore. It's here. Cardladder. Get the app today.
Thank you very much to the team at Cardladder. Now under the Collectors Universe branch, Sauce.
Collectors, mate. They're dropping the universe. They're just called collectors now. That's
Oh, really?
Apparently, yep. That's
Apologies,
the
collectors.
Word, the word on the street.
Word on the street. All right. Is it confirmed?
Confirmed. I heard it on
right.
the crossover, the latest crossover. That's what they.
I did listen to that, but I missed that. I definitely did, but we will start with that. So congratulations, obviously, to Josh, Christina, Chris Hoge, and the whole team there at Cardladder, getting acquired by Collectors. So that is Nat Turner, which is fantastic for them. Obviously, the hard work has paid off for them. Not just with the wealth, but their ideas as well, being now funded with more resources to upgrade it to as not for anything, as far and wide that they foresee it becoming. Being able to add whatever features they like, which is great. They've got creative control still, which is awesome. But from us,
it's good.
Congrats, man.
Overall.
It's fantastic. It's absolutely awesome.
If you watch this show or listen to the show, you know how much we like Cardladder. We use it all the time. I mean, I was using it before we got them on board, and we give them a little promo here and let you know that we've got an affiliate code down below. So if you wish to sign up to the platform, feel free to head down there and sign up with that code. Yes, we do get a little kickback. That's why I said affiliate. But I mean, I'm proud to say that I am an affiliate because the platform itself is good. I like it, and I like what they're trying to build there. I was getting a little bit frustrated with, the process of onboarding cards that, things couldn't be done at a more timely manner, but I was also understanding with the limited resources that they had and that they were essentially a small business. right,
Yeah.
Doma? And now by getting bought out by collectors and joining that team and partnering up with them, they're going to be open to more, as you said, resources to, my biggest thing is onboard more cards quicker. They've got 18,500 cards at the moment that they're tracking. I want to see that number at like 60,000. Yeah. And I think with the potential and with the resources that they've got, they should be able to, things like when the new Prism drops, they should be able to get all the rookies, the Prism Silver and their, say their Prism base and maybe some key cards out of Prism should be able to be on the platform,
What's to say
from
that
the get-go.
I know we're just projecting. We haven't spoken to anyone at the team there, but what's to say, Source? What's to say the new release cards that come out that they straight, like the whole checklist automatically gets uploaded onto Cardladder? Every card's on there, and then when a sale's made for each card, then it just gets updated accordingly. So they all go onto Cardladder as raw cards, obviously because nothing's graded on launch. But then as things slowly get graded and get sold, all they do is add that little tab there on the drop down, go from raw to a PSA 10 to a PSA 9, BGS 9.5. We did listen to the crossover. There were some positive things there as well. A lot of people, there's been a lot of negativity around this as well.
A lot of FUD. Not say they call it in the crypto space, a lot of FUD, where they're people trying to just spread rumors around that may not be true, or just bring up concerns that really would go against what Cardladder and the team down there were trying to build from the beginning, and you can mention it, Dominic. Some people concerns about because they're joining collectors and that is PSA, that they wouldn't give a shit about SGC or BGS, and they've said no, we're obviously still going to keep those graded cards on there and other companies as they're still important to the hobby. So they do understand that it's not all about PSA, and that there are other fragments of the hobby that need to be respected, and they are going to maintain that and maintain that integrity to keep respecting, those other grading companies that they have on the platform. So it's good to see that that's not that's the case. It is also good to see that they're getting their due rewards for putting in a lot of time and effort into creating content, because that's also going to be part of their gig as well, which is to continue creating their crossover show and continue creating their SEC show. And it goes before that, because they came from the origins of House of Jordans. And put a lot of time into another podcast previously.
Cardboard Chronicles as well, with
and
Josh.
Cardboard Chronicles, all those YouTube shows as well that he's done previously. So there's been a lot of effort on their part to build up to this point, to get to the point that a major company, one of the biggest companies in all of the hobby, is interested in your product. I think it's congratulations. We said that at the start, and I think it's only better for the platform and better for its users. I don't have any concerns whatsoever. I'm actually excited that they've got more resources so that they can improve the platform they were improving the platform already, right? But obviously with more resources, it allows them to do things quicker. They're probably going to be able to get a bigger team to now verify transactions quicker, so that more cards can get on there faster. It's good all round, in my opinion. So, the people that was sort of, as I said, spreading that FUD or, having worries, I don't understand why.
It is a natural thing, though, Source. It is natural. We've done it on this show, but it's, what I mean? It's natural for someone to question the downside or the bad aspects that potentially could happen. So it is human nature. And I get that. Those questions need to be asked. It was good on the crossover. They got people there to ask them questions straight from their chat, and they were able to answer them for their guests in the crossover and give them straight out answers, which is awesome. They've got the shop functionality. I think Josh and Chris
Yeah.
was saying on the crossover.
Yeah,
They've now partnered with about 30 different. Is it like 30
no,
different?
not 30, not just yet, but
They
they
want to
are.
get to 30. They
They
said.
want to
But
they want to get to everything. So anyone who
Yeah.
doesn't know what the shop feature is, I believe this is a pro feature. So you do have to have the pro version. But essentially what it is any card that is on there, it says shop, and wherever the card is listed across the platforms that they are covering, you can go there and view that listing. So they're covering obviously eBay, MySlabs. I think they're working with Golden to get Golden on there. They're already got PWCC, so PWCC is linked in. I believe Heritage Auctions, they're trying to get them on board as well.
I'll give you a rundown source. Apologies. It was not the shop through those. It was the historical card sales across their database. All historical card sales for eBay, Golden, Heritage, MySlabs, Beckett, REA, Mile High Card. I think. I can't read that. Leland's, PWCC, SCP. I'm going to see if I can do my little trick and go on the.
So these are all the places that they get data from, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love Game, Julian's Auctions, Iconic.
And eventually they're hoping to expand that to the shop feature that you can essentially, like what would be brilliant. And I've talked about this on the show before, Doma, which is, if you're not across all these auction houses, you should get an account, open up an account with them, because you never know when a card that you want might pop up there. And if you're not across all these auction houses like Golden, Heritage, PWCC, Leland's, you just mentioned some, you just read off a whole bunch of them, and some I didn't even know about. But what about if you could literally just go to Cardladder and search all of those in one platform? Wouldn't you do that?
Yeah,
makes sense, right? So you don't have to go to 7, 8, 10, 15 different websites. You just go to one. And
click on the link, and it takes you where you want to go.
Exactly, and this is the possibilities that they're opening themselves up to with having more resources. Bringing everything under one banner. There's a search function for cards on other platforms. It's just amazing. And that's just one of the features that I'm sure it's going to get better and better as this goes on. So, it's going to be good.
All in all, we are super stoked. We're very happy for all them all, and not for it. We've been fortunate enough to interview Chris and Josh. We'd love to get Christina on in the new year as well. It would be great to have her on. But we were meant to tee up a time, and we were going to literally interview Chris and Josh. Timing fell through. Then we got busy. We do apologize. We'll get that sorted in the new year 100%. But yeah, congrats again. Very happy for them. And Chris, obviously, if people out there are not aware, Chris was literally, he's been the ride or die fan of the show. He's been there since literally day dot. He's fan, probably listener number 1 or number 2. And he's supported us and given us advice along the way. And we really do appreciate that. So congrats to them. And the future is bright for Cardladder. We've had a few comments in here. Beckett does that. Hartman. It's good to have Hartman in here. He hasn't been in for a while. Metacrawler, he said, does all that stuff. Yeah, fair enough. I'd rather use Cardladder. That's just me. Let's jump over here, Source. We've got a few QCs to go through. Mosaic dropped. Did we go through Mosaic last week? We did, didn't we? I think we did. We did. We definitely did. But this bad boy dropped, and we're going to go through this Source. Right here. Your favorite product, Panini 1-1. Let's have a look at this Source. Oh, I've just got the zoom function. I'm unbelievable now. I'm like a wizard with a MacBook. Just an absolute wizard. 2021 1-1 arrives in hobby shops tomorrow. It's already out and about, I'm pretty sure. This dropped December 7th. Yeah, tomorrow. On average, each hobby box, 2 cards per box, 10 boxes per case, will deliver 1 order and 1 base parallel or insert The highlights of 2021 1-and-1 basketball are many and include search for on-card rookie patch autos of the top rookies featuring different levels of memorabilia. Find veteran and legend on-card autos, including incredible timeless moments cards that feature some of the top moments in NBA history. The extremely popular and highly sought-after insert of the year, Downtown, can be found featuring the top NBA players in the league today. Enjoy the QC gallery. Van Vliet Sauce, Fox, Vince Carter.
I just love this product because I like the clean look. I like the in-game shots.
There we go. Donovan Mitchell Downtown. James Harden. Ooh, on card.
There we go.
Oh, hello.
That's what we're talking about.
Anthony Edwards.
Yep, it sure does, James.
That's nice.
I reckon it does too. It's one of my favorite products from last year, and I'll definitely be looking to pick up an auto or two. Might try sneak a Patrick Williams auto. Perfect timing coming out. Patty Williams is injured, so thank you very much. I'll just head out there and buy some for sure. I'll definitely look to get an auto and maybe another SGA auto. I wouldn't mind getting one in there, even though it's his fourth year auto.
There's my boy.
Thomas. He's got one of the greatest autos. He's got a great auto.
Oh, there's another one of my boys, if people don't know. Walt Frazier.
There we go. What's that card on the right there with the gold?
That is a Dennis Rodman. Timeless moments. I think he's ripping down a board, Source.
Did you say on card? Global's confused. Did you say on card?
I said on card.
Yeah, on card. This is why we love one-on-one, mate. That's why we love one-on-one.
I'll bring this up big. Look, like that.
Look at that.
What's happened
nice.
there? Whoa.
You're going extra too much with the zoom function, mate. Come on, man.
Gee, what the hell's happening? Oh, what have I done?
You can click through them, bro.
No, I've cooked. I don't know what's happened. Oh, difficult. What the fuck is that? There we go. It's on card. As you can see, the auto goes over the top of the.
Yeah.
And then that's the last card. It's a Colin Sexton to 20.
Nice. I'm excited.
Nice. Yeah, it is very exciting. Very, very, very exciting. The other thing on the mosaic, because we've seen a few things, just to backtrack quickly, live LaMelo autos, which is great. Great to see. You can get his orders. They're not redemptions, mate. We've got Spectra Football up next, Source. What do we got here? Look for Celestial Meta, Neon Splatter. Just Neon Splatter, Source. It's going to splat itself all over the card. New inserts, Retrospect, Mesmerizing, Neon Knights, and Retro Spectacle. Look for on-card autos in Champion Signatures, Illustrious Legends, Sky High Sigs, Vested Veterans, autos, and Retrospect. Here we go. Fuck, that's actually nice. I actually don't mind that. Josh Allen. Brett Favre. Frank Gore. Gronk is there. Retro Spectacle. Not a bad looking card. Sunday Spectacle of CD Lamb. My boy. There's Mac Jones Sauce. Justin Herbert. Max Impact. Building Blocks. I like Spectra. It's a decent looking product.
Yeah. Big G loves Spectra too, one of his underrated products that I've heard him speaking about. Big G unit down there at Cherry. Which shout out, they've just opened. It's close to opening a store in Hobart. And word on the street is if you've been following the
there's the little
comments is
Source.
Store coming to Sydney very soon. Very soon. So look out, Sydney siders, Cherry Collectibles coming to you probably somewhere within the next 6 months, I would say.
No, I'm going to say 12 months.
12 months? There you go.
Yeah.
So 12 months.
12 to 18 months. Global. I just splattered all over the toilet. Wow. Wow. This has gone left. Wow. there's one thing I put on the agenda source. Nothing. I didn't really run that. Well, I didn't run this by you. It's just something I saw during the week. Well, not really this thing. This one I'm just going to bring up. Bit of immaculate look at this throughout the week. Thanks again to Frank at Find Your Trove. Here we go. Bit of a little preview here. Bit of LaMelo. Anthony Edwards. Jar. That's nice. That's nice sauce. Too bad Disney's on there.
Yeah.
But the thing I wanted...
Unfortunate that there's no license on LeBron, or else it'd be elite to have LeBron on that card. It'd be brilliant.
100%. Now, wax is all over it again, man. Did you come across this? You did come across this. I just wanted to just bring it up again. And we're going to just reiterate the fact that there should be a catalog of all the patch autos from high-end products or any product that can be accessed by grading companies and by consumers, so they can match up their card with their number, so then they know that it is legit when they're buying it off eBay or anywhere else, that this type of shit has not happened. I don't know if people can see that properly. If it wants to zoom in. There we go. So, pulled with a single color patch over here. The first one. This is KD rookie auto. Swapped out for a 3-color. Patch appears to have been altered a second time to add a new single color patch. And then a new fake patch is being graded by BGS. So, just putting it out there again. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but we are also thankful at the same time that someone like Wax Museum Podcast is going out there and doing all this research. But he should just be able to go along his merry way, Source, and enjoy collecting in the hobby, and he shouldn't have to do this type of shit. Because it should be done for us.
And at the same time, I'm worried that how many that people aren't following that have probably, been swapped. Let's be honest. Like he only follows a certain cards and
it's he's got a manifesto of cards that he follows.
Yes, right.
I completely agree.
But there's probably some out there that have been slipped through and things. So
a lot of them are here, Source. He's got Anthony Davis Immaculate RPA to 99, which is the one we brought up on this show previously. Yeah. He's got Anthony Davis RPA to 199. He's then got a Giannis Immaculate RPA to 99. Giannis NT RPA to 99. Ja Moran NT RPA to 99. James Harden RPA to 99. Kawhi Leonard Immaculate RPA to 99. That's another one that he's spoken about as well. That's just in his tracker, it says here. As he's probably got more because it's obviously cut off here. And the bar's up top. So he's definitely got other cards tracked. But that's what Source is saying. Unfortunately, he can't
once
cover
again,
it all.
Domo, he should be able to just go about his hobby business and enjoy the hobby, not have to be the gatekeeper of RPAs and making sure that patches aren't getting swapped out and shit. Like, this is a joke. Like, I'll just go off on a rant again.
RPAs, I like that.
Oh, mate,
I think Wax is going to like that one too.
Thank you for what he does. Like, obviously, we're all appreciative for everything he does.
I'm super appreciative
of what he does. But it's rubbish. It's rubbish because you pay so much for these high-end products, and the fact that these companies, Panini, now still till this day, are still not working with the grading companies and giving them a manifesto or a PDF that has imaging of all of the the patches that were put in and the signatures and what they look like before they're going into the boxes, for people to rip out of the packs. It's just unfathomable. Like, I cannot, understand why it is not happening. I don't understand. There's so much money involved in this, and this is what you get. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. And then I put it onto some of these other big companies that are coming into it and trying to, play off that cards and whatever, another asset class, right? Investment, right? Well, if it's true investment, we need our investments to be protected. And, the companies in Panini are not, the company in Panini itself are not doing enough to protect that. Now, I put it onto some of these other companies out there that are, in the States to, put the pressure on Panini for this stuff. Because there'd be nothing worse than to find out in 10 years from now, you've just bought a jar RPA and it's been swapped out, right? And no one at the time was following it. Oh, I mean,
let's put it this way.
Except for Wax Museum here.
But you go to buy like a baseball or a signed baseball, or even here, like a signed Sharon footy, signed Melbourne jersey, for example, as long as it's not coming from Ricky Nixon. But you go to an auction house, yeah, and when you go to an auction house, what do you want to be given guarantee of when you go to buy the products? That it's all legit.
Yeah.
The certificate of authenticity is not the back of a card saying this is a worn piece of memorabilia from this, or this is the jersey that Ja Morant wore in the toilet on picture day because it's not game worn anymore that we put into a card. We don't. What it should be, the certificate of authenticity is, it has whatever it says on the back of its card, and then Panini publishes alongside the checklist a PDF document with the images of all the patch autos that you have and autos in the product. And then it doesn't have to go in the product. It's an online tool. People go there, they download it, they go through it, bang. That's it.
And we've spoken about this before. We're beating on a dead drum here. Let's be honest, Doma, because we've spoken about this before, and we've had people here in the comments say that they work at a factory and they've got a conveyor belt, and on this conveyor belt, these things come through, and they've got like this imaging thing that it stops and takes an image of everything that's on the conveyor belt. And if this is just like a factory that's doing that, why can't Panini do that? You put the cards across the conveyor belt, and it'll be all automated. And you pick them up at the other end, and it takes all the imaging automatically, and then you organize that all into a catalog. It's really, really bizarre, Doma. It's really bizarre.
Hartman says took a year for Panini to release a print run on their wild card autos, and then he followed up and said, "How do you explain to someone that it's a numbered card that's not physically numbered?"
Yeah, well, the fact that it took them a year to release the print run, that just goes to show that's Panini for you. And then Dom, and then I could bring it on to another, topic about Panini that I had a discussion in a DM group chat today, and I told you about, which was, about the NFT platform and Panini NFT, sports cards, and the future of that, and why I'm not wasting my money in buying any of it, because they're so slow at doing stuff, Panini. Like, how long are we going to be waiting until they give us usability or true usability, or build something else on top of it rather than just a graphic image that's essentially a JPEG, right? What else have you got? So I just can't fathom it. So they're just so slow at doing stuff. Like, wouldn't you think you'd be focusing on getting your cards right, which has been like, the meat and bones of your business. But at this point here, we're not going to get it, Doma. Like, I can tell you right now, this might be something.
Right. If we're not getting it, yeah.
I was about to say, this might be something that, in the next, few years, we make enough noise and stuff, and people around the hobby think that this is obviously a great idea, because it is. Let's be honest, everyone in the hobby would want this.
Josh, if you're listening to this, Josh Luger, if you're listening to this, you're probably not going to listen to this. But
we'll clip it and we'll tag you so you do listen to it.
Yeah.
Right?
Josh, if you're listening to this.
This is a great idea.
It has to be done. Straight out. Has to be done. I don't know how you do it, how you want to do it. I don't know if your cards are going to have serial numbered stuff so you can log it in on a portal online and it automatically pitches your card. I don't know how you're going to do it. I don't know what's going to be done, how it's going to be done, but it needs to be done. That's it. Bottom line. Because this shit's unacceptable.
The fact that they technology out there, what do we got here in Melbourne? You got to freaking you can't even fart. If you want to fart, you got to scan in somewhere before you fart, right? So why can't we put a little QR code on the back of the card? You scan the QR code on the back of the card, on the back of the NTRPA that's down the bottom somewhere. That QR code opens to a website that has that exact card. RPA, freaking Patrick Williams, RPA 77 of 99, and it has that card image. Bang, there it is, right? There's so much scope with technology to be able to improve this. Like, I don't understand why nothing's being done. I don't, where are we at? Where are we at?
It does a full circle, but yeah, like it's all full circle back to exactly what you said. We want to be these high-end alternate investments, and we got cards selling for $1.5 million US, $4 million US for a Patrick Mahomes patch auto. There's serious money in this. And how do you know? How do you know like that patch in the Mahomes is legit? Oh, 100%. I agree. And I agree with James. We're almost in 2022. Let's sort this shit out. 100%. It's not going to get sorted out. So that's why we're preaching to Josh Luber. That literally.
Yeah. It's seriously. I mean, it's and people want to say that. Oh, it would be bad Fanatics getting it, and the dejectors went and the FUD once again when it first came out in the news. People not happy about it. Like, show me what the hell Panini is doing right now that's making you happy about it. Right? There's so many issues that they just go on and on and on. And instead of fixing the issues in cards, they're now doing NFTs. Like, and then they can't even get that right. Like, it's just
I know the FUD. Everyone gets pissed off when companies are getting bought out, like Cardladder and Amazon's investing in Dibs. I don't know if you saw that. They're investing in Dibs, and you got freaking Fanatics getting into the card thing and buying licenses, and people want this hobby to grow. And then, unfortunately, I said 100 times, business 101 is you need money to grow. As simple as that. You should be actually proud of the fact that you're ambassadors, or you're a content creator, or you're just a collector, or someone that, was in a hobby. And we've all spoken about this. We spoke about this in length in Clubhouse when everyone was on Clubhouse. This was a hobby where everyone used to give shit to people. Oh, look at this nerd. He collects cards. Oh, why would you collect a piece of cardboard, blah, blah, blah. And it's become the coolest thing ever. And now all these things are happening for the good of the hobby, to promote it globally, to try and get more and more old collectors in, their kids in, young kids, all these people in, and we're still not happy. Let's just keep it the way it was, which I'll be honest with you, the way it was a piece of shit. Let's keep it the way it is, now Source, where we've got to have Wax Museum podcast having to go find all the fake patches himself. Do you want to keep it that way? So the bloke can't.
You're on the money there, Global. Yeah. The scammers will always find a way, the mofos, and they will, right? But this is where I'm saying, like, these companies should be doing more, especially with stuff like that. And now, am I turning around and saying, like, they you know what? I am turning around. On every damn product that has patch autos, they should be cataloging it. Every damn product. I'm not giving them a pass and saying they have 50 products and they're only going to do it in their top 15 products. No, every damn product. Like, it's not good enough. Like, straight out, I'll say that. It's not good enough.
Because that's the hit. A patch auto is the hit. Whether it be an RPA or just a normal patch auto, it's a hit. Even if it's a patch, that's your hit most of the time. That's your hit. Like, anyway, that hopefully gets itself sorted, but I can't see it happening. Moving on, there's no more negativity stuff. This is more just let's just have a laugh. Saucy found a Facebook thread. You don't bring it up, Sauce, because it's got people's actual names on there, so you're probably just gonna have to read the comments. But you just read the post and then some of the comments. But
yeah, Facebook thread in NBA Card Market Australia page is
get your popcorn ready.
The biggest page. It's on Facebook probably for cards, NBA cards here in Australia. And someone put a post that says, "Will grading prices ever become reasonable?" And there's just, you go through here and you read some comments. And, one person's comment was, I think PSA needs to reverse their pricing. Anything under 100 in value, you pay more for. Anything over, you pay less. Hopefully it results in more meaningful cards getting graded and less backlog. Well, he's definitely just thinking about his investments, that guy.
That guy's an idiot. Let's charge you 150 to put a LaMelo base hoops card in. So when you get the card back and it's a PSA 10 and it's worth $30 and you just lost all your money. So that makes sense. Oh, it comes back. It's worth $100 and you're out of pocket $50.
Who is he to say that I don't want to grade? You know what I mean? Like, who is he to say? Like, let's be honest, right? Who is he to say if I want to grade this Emmanuel Quickly NBA Hoops insert, right? And it's just a base one. If I want to grade that, who is he to say that it should cost more money just because it's a shitter insert or it's a NBA Hoops insert, right? And not a insert out of freaking, out of a premium product, a Spectra insert or something like that, right? Who are you to say that I can't grade that? Like, it's just baffling, right? I've always remained, and I'll remain the same, that these companies need to find the way to scale to meet the demand. I don't give a shit, right? And they need to figure out their pricing. So that was just one. It was pretty funny, right? I'll go down. I'll try to find another few comments. We had people in here showing new grading companies. I did post our link to the HGA group sub at the end. I'm not going to lie. But FCG is one that's come up. So if you don't know, there is a FCG group sub as well. If you want to join that, if you're interested in that company, as we said, we do run a HGA one, but we're not going to turn around and talk shit about FCG. They actually look in all reports and what I've looked into the company. As I said, Dom, I'm always willing to look into something and not just disregard it because I'm just I suck off PSA or suck off BGS or I just. Well, let's be honest, Dom. I always said I'll always look at all grading companies because I'm not a fanboy of anyone, and I do buy all grading companies. I've got CSG slabs, I've got SGC slabs, I've got BGS, I've got PSA.
CGC,
so it's all the same. Because I respect
SGC.
the grading. I respect the grade on top, but FCG seem like they're doing good things, so check them out. Here's a good one. All right, so this got a lot of likes, love, comments. It goes, grading companies that charge for their services depending on card value is wrong. The cards supposedly go through the same process, so what is it to determine to them what the value is? I've always said it will be their own doing and stick to that. I, for one, haven't said in anything for a long time. I don't think I ever will. I know there are many people who think the same way. Really sad, to be honest. Companies get greedy when they see a bit of success and then fall on their own sword. There were some interesting responses to this because, there was people in here explaining why, PSA has their model in a sense, and it's got a lot to do with their guarantee. And also that puts an insurance on your card. Whether, rightfully so, whether you want to think that or not, I think it's a bit of a stiff guarantee when, just because you're grading a Fleer Michael Jordan, they want to charge you $1,500 compared to what potentially could be $100. Pretty blasphemy if you ask me. But maybe that number goes up a little bit, but 1,500 sounds a bit exorbitant. So yeah, look, I'm not really sure, but there was some interesting responses to that. Feel free to go through, and if you want to know this thread or want to read it, more than welcome to shoot me a DM and I'll send it over to you. And if you're in NBA Card Market Australia, you'll be more than welcome to have a read.
Hartman Sports Card said about base cards. He goes, it's like a 500-pound person holding up the line at a buffet. Just keeps putting in more and more base cards. Global said he got banned from that page when he first got back into the hobby for calling out an admin because he called him a scammer, and that's why he created his group. Head on over to Global's group, by the way. It is a ripping group. James Mann said to Source about PSA, might as well do them all, Source, while you're at it.
Nah, mouth's not big enough, mate.
Oh, no.
Oh, shit's gone left, mate. It's after 9 o'clock, mate. And we're
on the verge of getting cancelled anyway. So
that's all right, mate.
Hartman says he gets people have a PC, but damn, 900 trouts from last year's Bowman Chrome set. Yeah, it's true. Global said also got banned from the scammers page because it called the admin men out on their bullshit as well. Yeah, it happens. The admin's just like, that's, you know, it's only...
A lot of people on these have these groups and that they get a bit of a power trip. You know,
Yeah,
I'm not going to lie. They seriously get a power trip on running their groups. But you know, it is what it is. They started it, so you know, unfortunately, you just got to live with it.
Well, the interesting source is, as the title of the show says, PSA has opened up a nice discounted sub point for some people. They promised that it was going to happen. They obviously want to work their way back to $10. But what is it now? $99 source? Is that the fee?
$95, man. $95. So yeah, $95, and I think it's only selected group subbers, and I think they're capped at 300 cards per sub, that group subber. So you know, they are, yeah, it is open, but it's still limited. But you know, they did say they would have an announcement 2 weeks. It was pretty much 2 weeks and 1 day that they made the announcement after we seen that little comment from Nat on Instagram. It was just after, but you know, they did come out and say something. So who gets the allocations? Who knows?
Whoever provides the most cards in business as a group subber to PSA, that's who gets the allocations. So look, in all honesty, they'll reward loyalty. Yeah, so you would have thought here in Australia, Lane would have been opened up again now for that tier of cards, which is awesome for him. I'm very, very happy for him that that's going to happen. By the way, that pod with Lane on the Magnificent Seven will air this weekend. Had a great chat with him. So yeah, he's been ripping all sorts of stuff, buying a whole bunch of stuff as well, which is great to get a bit of an insight. Now, last thing, Source, you sent me this slab stocks, a warped HGA slab or something, and you said you wanted to just clear up some stuff on this.
Yeah, so I mean, this is where it comes down to, like, you know, people. And I'm not having a crack at anyone that you know doesn't want to go out of the realms of other grading companies or the main grading companies in PSA and BGS, and they don't go out, you know, often venture into other grading companies such as HGA or whether it be SGC or maybe not SGC, they've been around for a while, but you know, CSG or FGC, whatever it may be, FCG or whatever the hell other ones there are out there, but you know, when you don't look into these companies, you don't really know the history. And, you know, Slabstock's put this video out, a little reel saying, you know, oh, you know, this is, you know, my Slabstock, my HGA card is, you know, it's warping, like, you know, and it's obviously not sitting flush on the table. We've done a little video, and which you know, that shouldn't happen, right? But HGA being a new company, they had, you know, teething issues with their slabs. They, you know, found out that, they had different molds. Each batch, there was, if you didn't put the same front and back from the same batch of molds that when it came from the factory, if you didn't put those two together and you put like one from, say, batch 1 and one from batch 2, a front and back, it actually over time, the card itself would warp a little bit and become uneven on a flat surface. So if you go check out Slabstock's video, you'll know what I'm talking about. But you know, that was an issue that they had earlier on. They fixed the issue. The issue was fixed by them realizing that they need to make sure it's front and back of the same batch. And it can't be a different batch because, you know, it can slightly be slightly different, sort of half a mil, and that's all it needs. That over time you'll get that sort of warp. It doesn't happen right at the beginning, but over time it does. And, you know, it's just, you know, things like that. Like, you know, Slabstocks is a big account and he puts that out about HGA, and obviously HGA, rightfully so, get absolutely slammed in the comments. And, you know, 90% of the people in the comments there, maybe 95% of the people don't even know the history of of what's happened or why it's happened. They just bagged the shit out of HGA. Fair enough. That happens to every company anyway, whenever, something comes out like this or whatever it may be, whether it be.
Except for one.
No, they still cop it. They still cop it. They still cop it, when they put labels upside down and shit like that.
Yeah, but it blows over in like 2 seconds. There's
Cards
an excuse.
upside down.
Oh, yeah, it was an accident. Oh, yeah, it was an accident. The new ones, they do that, and it's like, oh, let's just flame them till they're out of business.
Most of the time, it's all right. They're grading so many cards, a few can slip through, but, with the other grading companies, it can't.
Yeah, it's like, let's get them out of business.
Cards.
Yeah.
But, I just want to bring that to people's attention. Not that I'm, sticking up for HGA in a way, but, just let people know that that's the case. And that's because I've followed the company since, its infancy. And, we've interviewed Tyler on the show. So, we know a bit more about the company and what's happened and transpired. And I've always kept up to date with, his updates and his transparency 100%. Reports is what I like to call them, because no other company or grading company is doing these weekly reports, letting people know what's going on in the inner realms of the company. I mean, they just shut everyone out and no one knows shit. So, I just want to let people know, because I feel like sometimes that, these minor grading companies get get hard done by, and, FCG being another one. If you caught a post by our least favorite account on Instagram, Porn Card, and they tried to flame one on FCG, and it just becomes a whole thing of like, there's so much people shitting on these newer grading companies that are trying to have a crack at the end of the day, and some of them do have good business practices. Like you want to go have a look into actually see what FCG is doing, and just have a look. But in saying that, if PSA, I'm not going to sit here and go and say that they're going to take over the big boys. They're not. But if PSA get their shit in order and eventually get it to the point that maybe in 12 months from now, maybe 6 to 12 months from now, that they have a $25 card option or a $30 card option, and that ends up being a 4 to 6 month turnaround. These other companies are going to be in some major strife, because I just don't see if they meet those turnarounds and can keep up with the demand. I don't see how some of these companies
can be stopped. I don't know how they're going to be stopped.
Are still here. So it's in saying that it's a tough one, but they got to keep pushing through. They got to find ways to market themselves and get better. But I just want to let people know like some of this stuff, because 90% of people wouldn't know shit. They just go in there, bag the fuck out of HGA, and that's it. Go on with their day.
FCG, HGA, everyone else.
There's a heap of them.
But no, the boys from Slab Stocks are good. I'm not bagging them. Source is just saying that he's just saying when you've got a big brand like Slab Stocks, a big account, and you put it out there, it becomes open slather for people to go in the comments and just like diminish a company and just put them out to dry, mate. Really, you just hang them out to dry, and they just get roasted, absolutely roasted, and no one. Like I'm telling you, Saucy and I went in there and said, have you done your research? They'd be like, who the fuck you? What do you know? Blah, blah, blah. This is the company, can't you see?
You just get flamed.
Yeah, you get flamed. It's just whatever. Like social media.
I don't go in the comments and try to defend the company.
So
I don't go in. Yeah, that's right. It ends up just being a toxic, slugfest, and I don't want to go in there and defend the company. At the end of the day, I'm not their PR person, right? So exactly. If they did want to get on the front foot, they should be doing that themselves. So that's the way I look at it. But yeah, it's just unfortunate that that's the way the hobby goes.
Global also said he asked Lane about the sub. Hasn't heard anything yet. Hopefully he gets it. I really do hope he gets it. PSA will now and forever be number one there, create a monopoly along with Fanatics. It's very true. All right, Source. Last thing before we get into a Smoky, if you have one. Do you have a Source of Smoky this week? No? Yes?
No,
maybe?
I don't think so.
No Smoky. That's okay. Last thing is, I think we'll end it on a very good note. And that was this week, yesterday, day before, to be 100% sure. Tyson Beck dropped his Stephen Curry collaboration. 600 cards is all there was.
800 cards.
800 cards. 60,000 people try to get in. It crashed the site. All cards did sell out. Unfortunately, bots did get in and went rampant on the site and chewed up a whole bunch of
bots. Don't
stock.
exist, Doma. That's what people in the hobby were telling me when I tried to tell them.
Yeah, it's
bots
okay.
Don't exist.
They do exist, and I'm glad.
No, they don't. That's what the people on Facebook, when I tried to tell them that there's bots, taking out this EB Game stock and Zing stock and these other sites here in Australia. I tried to tell them there's bots, doing this.
Yeah,
they said no. Where is it? Show me.
Yeah,
there's no bots.
Yeah, because you can see the bot when you're in the fucking checkout. These people, but Tyson was very apologetic, and not for anything. It's not his fault. He can't do anything about that. He doesn't know who the people are that are logging into his site to buy the product. But the 60,000 people, albeit source, that I understand bots took what they took, but 60,000 people for 800 cards, that in itself is an achievement. I know the website crashed, and Tyson, if you listen to this, I know it's like you may look at it as if to say, shit, my site crashed, but I look at it as someone that's been following you now for a while, and Saucy as well. And we actually said to each other, like, I know it's a bad thing that the site crashed and people weren't able, but it's also fucking amazing the fact that 60,000 people were queuing up for the drop to get their hands on this collab. So congrats to him. He was, as you know, Tyson is very straightforward and transparent, and he doesn't like to let his fans be disappointed. He felt bad, as we said. It's not his fault what happened, but he is going to be releasing a special drop for people. He gave the choice out of Bran and Ingram and someone else. Source, who was the other player?
I think everyone voted Bran and Ingram.
Brandon Ingram. So a collab with him.
Kobe White might have been Kobe White.
No, Kobe White. It was Kobe White. That's it, Kobe White. So the other thing that it got my brain ticking, Source, because we still need to interview him for Magnificent Seven, is the fact that he can just go up to Brandon Ingram or Kobe White and just do a collab with him as a bit of like a replacement product. Just, there's a few questions I'm going to write down there. Like, if you can go to Brandon Ingram and Kobe White, Tyson, who else is in the pool of players you can go and and visit to get some autographs of it? Drop one of those bad boys. And he'll just say, Dom, not telling you. You can guess. I'm not telling you.
Nah, you won't tell us. But it's awesome. So, it's awesome. Credit to him. Absolute credit to him. And, anyone who missed that, feel free to jump on Topps Project 70, and he's got a latest card here, and Mike Trout. Topps Project 70 on baseball. Just waiting a moment, bloody freaking checking my browser. There it is there. It's pretty cool. So you can go pick up one of them. And I'm not going to lie, ladies and gentlemen, if you watch this and you can afford to go here and go bang 5, you will not lose money. I've done this with a whole bunch of other Tyson Beck Project 70 cards. Mookie Betts in the past. I think there was also another one, and I've ended up, selling them here on eBay in Australia for profit. So a little sneaky play that could also be my smoky. So a little side smoky, if you don't mind as well, while we're on the topic of Tyson Beck, because I've seen he has a new Project 70 card. So check it out.
Funnily enough, yes, he's made big time, makes me proud, says Global. He wanted to come to the card catch up, but he's out of town because of Christmas, so it would have been unfortunate. I was actually meant to catch up with him in South Australia this year, which obviously fell through because of COVID. But Tyson we were going to catch up for lunch or a dinner, and it was actually going to be really good. It was unfortunate. But take a rain check there with Tyson, and likewise if he comes here to Melbourne. Matty said he's been asking the public on Facebook who outside the NBA we want. Now, I'll give him the list of people, mate. I'll give him the list I'll give him the list. Don't you worry. Mike Tyson being one of them. All right, because he's done Ali. He's getting Mike Tyson collab, and I'll tell you what, Mike Tyson, I reckon, will do it.
Yeah, yep.
Mike Tyson
that would be a
collab,
ripper.
Tiger Woods. Start thinking of some goats outside the NBA. This is the big one, all right, that I'm going to tell him when we catch up with him, Source. Wayne Gretzky. Try and get Wayne Gretzky to do a collab with. Just a bit outside the box. He said he's got a goats drop coming in January. How good would it be if he's got goats? He's got Tiger Woods. He's got like a Mike Tyson. He's got Wayne Gretzky. Just imagine he rocks out a Jordan as like the icing on the cake. Joey Chestnut, says Matty Campbell.
I love it.
Magnus Carlsen.
You know, is that it? You should put Stephen Bradbury.
Stephen Bradbury. There you go, man.
Yeah, American people, you're not going to know who the hell that is, but Google him, Stephen Bradbury
Ric
win
Flair.
on YouTube.
Ric Flair will be sick. The Rock, Stone Cold. The world is his oyster at the moment. The world is his oyster. We are super proud of him, and we do wish him all the best. Global, says James Hurd. Sauce will love that. Sauce would love that. James Hurd. He'd be all over it as an Essendon supporter. He'd love that. Anyway, beauty. All right, Sauce. Done and dusted. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in once again. Everyone that's going to listen back, watch back. We do appreciate your support. All the info in our description. We've got a Discord. We've got YouTube. We've got our Insta. Please join share. The groups. Keep promoting.
That's it. Please.
And join the discussion. People. Join the groups and join the discussion.
It. That's what we want.
If you want to be in group chats, group chats, whatever, DM Sauce or myself, and we'll be happy to add you to some group chats, and you'll meet some nice people in there that are like-minded on the hobby. On that note, keep living, loving, and breathing sport. It's double coverage. I'm Dom with a great man, Sauce, and peace.
Peace.
Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking all sports, double coverage.